Hi, my name's Eric, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my third book from the series Philosophy for 5 to 500-Year-Olds. The third book is on ethics. It was illustrated by Gracie Heron, and I wanted to do a little bit of a walkthrough on the book, through each page, talk about it. Uh, might talk about it in depth in some areas, and then I'll go back and try to summarize this in more digestible little bits and pieces. But this is going to be like a complete walk through the book from start to finish, touching on each page and then going into more detail about uh, what's behind all of it and the width and the depth of it that all begins in the beginning. It begins in metaphysics in book one of the series. It proceeds through epistemology, book two in the series, which is the theory of knowledge, how to think, how to know, which leads to this third book, ethics, what to do about those things, how to choose. What is ethics about? What is ethics? It is such a broad subject. And that's why it's from 5 to 500-year olds that can benefit from it. And I say 500 facetiously, with the idea that with advancements in modern science, at one point maybe we'll live to 500 years old. Philosophy. Philosophy is as old as existence. So philosophy spans all of time. And right now we look about, say, 5,000 years of recorded human history. Like, think about what information do we have from that? And that is books. It's the written word transmitted through space and time in the form of books. So you think of like the basis of all Western thought, beginning with like the philosopher Thales. And if I recall properly, we only have about 4 sentences of Thales. That's it. But that's what we got. And then how many sentences of Plato do we have? How many sentences of Aristotle do we have? So, but that is how human thought is passed down through the written word up until now. But it all begins with the written word. And so when we talk about ethics, we're talking about subjects as old as existence that are relevant today for you and for your children. Now, let's talk about what it means. Things to think about. How do we make choices? Who benefits from our choice? What happens after we choose? And what about other people's choices? Those are some things to think about as you progress through this book with you and your children, or just for yourself, to better understand how in your life to make choices. The title of the book is Philosophy for 5 to 500-Year-Olds. That does not mean that a 5-year-old should pick up this book, read it, and understand it, and therefore it is good. They are not the barometer of the ideas. You are the one who buys the book, the parent, the teacher, the educator, the programmer that buys the book. It's because they understand the ideas and the complexity of them. They understand the ideas and the complexity of them. And they see this as a way to relate it simply to their children and to their friends, to be able to share those ideas, to be distilled as simply as I can, so that someone who is conceptually at a 5-year-old level, their ability to understand certain concepts and to introduce those concepts to them as simply as possible at that age, we're still all untangling it. It's not whether they're going to know it, it's exposing them to it. And I think that you'll see as you think about it deeply, there's a lot of this stuff that they will understand. How do we choose? This is what we're teaching them as human animals. Good, bad. Ethics are the rules to follow when making choices. The concept of rules and having rules to follow. Simple concept. Some things are good. Some things are bad. We've introduced these concepts. Let's think about them not only for our children, but for ourselves. From 5. From 5 to. Non-living things don't make choices. They don't take action. Non-living things don't make choices. A book doesn't choose. A basketball doesn't choose. Because they don't take action. They are inanimate objects in reality, either naturally or people created, that don't take volitional action on their own. They are inanimate. Books, balls, despite the Toy Story movies, they're not acting when you're not around. And for your children and yourself to understand that. They don't take action. Living things act. They act to keep living. Living things act to keep living. I don't want to sound preachy. I want to discuss. Living things act. They act to keep living. They take action. Animals in nature, birds, fish, us, acting, taking actions to live. We use our unique people power to think and learn. Now, this is from Book 2 on epistemology. This is from Book 2 on epistemology. Epistemology is the theory of knowledge. How do you know things? What do you know? What can you be sure of? Are you unsure of? How to know, how to find methods in which to follow to know. Here is the method to learn, and it is epistemology. And it's simply explained in Book 2. We use our unique people power to think and learn. We're the human animal. We are animals in nature. Metaphysics, Book 1. We are animals in nature, but we're unique. We have the people power to think and to learn. To think and to learn so that we can act and achieve. Now, this goes deeper and deeper down the philosophical rabbit hole to 500-year-olds. We act to achieve our goals. Now, that's Aristotle. Now, Plato said different. Plato said different. Does that square with you? Plato said, no, we don't act really to achieve goals. Thought in itself is the goal, is the value. The thought is the value. With a disregard to the thoughts being acted upon in reality. And so Aristotle, after being his student for 30 years and a follower of his, and a fan of his, to after 30 years say, the more I think about this, this is a better explanation. And so Aristotle says, here's a better explanation. That these thoughts, when acted upon in reality, to create and manifest a reality from putting these thoughts into action to achieve our goals and to produce value and win, because it is what we were meant to do. It is our nature as the human animal. That goes deep, deep, deep down into the philosophical rabbit holes. That goes deep down into the origins of philosophy and Western thought. This gives you a taste. Our lives are the total of our choices, practiced every day. Our lives are the total of our choices. We practice our choices every day. The sum of our choices is our life. We brush our teeth, we take care of them. There's a result. We sleep, we get enough sleep. There's a result. We eat certain things, we move our bodies, we take these choices to take action. Practiced every day, improving every day. Practical versus theoretical. Practical philosophy, idealistic, rationalistic, no tie to reality philosophy. Setting of a premise, setting of a basic understanding to agree or disagree with, but to then have a framework for your own understanding of it. Is this something that you would tell a child? Is this an oversimplification? You would tell a child. I'm sure if you have children, you've told them this, and yourself it. That if every day I practice something, I will get good at it. Because I practice it every day, and it is good for me. And here we're talking about ethics. Thinking is our power. We learn to make good choices, and we value ourselves. We learn to make good choices, and we value ourselves. If we choose and we want to learn something, we can practice it every day and get good at it. And good at it because we value it. We enjoy it. We enjoy the benefits of the knowledge of it. And with that, use it to direct our actions. I will. Action gets results. I wish. No action, no results. No results. From 5 to 500. I will. Action gets results. Actions in reality. Thoughts put into motion. Causes with effects. Manifestations of your goals. I wish. No actions, no result. Not acting. Thinking without action, without things practiced daily, will not achieve an outcome. Laying additional foundation for the ideas of free will versus determinism and other concepts that once you lay down foundational principles of understanding, agree or disagree. But here's the thing to agree or disagree with. And that gets into differentiation, identification, and integration, which is how you create knowledge, which is Book 2 epistemology. Setting that up right here. We are individuals who learn together. We are individuals who learn together. What to do, what not to do. Right? What to do and what not to do. If you live in society and you're a child and you're in kindergarten, you begin to start learning what other people are doing. Okay, I thought the world was this. Look, what's this one doing? The concepts of lying set down early on in childhood development and to be understood better by adults. Adults are the ones that buy the books. Should you lie? Now, you're going to hear ethicists and philosophers talk about truth and everything in between, what it means to be true, and when it's appropriate to lie, and just the deepest of all moral issues, the deepest of the deep. I'm going to offer you a solution to agree or disagree with, and to use as a framework for moving forward with your life, and to better explain to yourself, your child, for a complete integration of your knowledge as to the idea of what a lie is. That's from 5 to 500. It's from 5 to 500 years old, and it's as old as 5,000 years of human thought. It's another zero on that equation. 5, 5. And then it's just zeros. Should you lie? Lying is faking reality to gain value. Faking reality is not easy for long. Lying. What is lying? Lying is faking reality to gain a value. And it is not easy to do for long. Let's talk about lies. A lie only works because of the truth. A lie only works because of the truth. A lie is not true. A lie requires the truth to exist first. The truth must exist for a lie to be possible. Let's just ground that knowledge in reality. When you assert something, when you make a statement, you are asserting something. You are affirming something. You are making a statement about reality. And that is what communication is. You walk around and you think in your mind and you communicate with other people. You say things. You say things. You're affirming things. So that's how societies work. And because you don't expect someone to lie, you expect them to affirm something. When they do lie, you don't see the lie coming because your affirmations have been affirmed the whole time. Let's further ground that knowledge in reality. If you walk around and say, "Have you seen my ball? Have you seen my ball?" You wouldn't walk around and say, "Have you not seen my ball? Have you not seen my ball? Have you not seen my ball?" You would walk around and say, "Have you seen my ball? Have you seen my ball? I have a ball. I have a ball." You wouldn't say, you wouldn't walk around and say, "I do not have a ball. I do not not have a ball." You say and affirm things. When your mom says to you, or when you have a child and you say, "How was school today?" And they say, "Fine." And that's a normal day. If they didn't go to school that day and they said, "Fine, what time's dinner?" and they walk in, you don't expect them to always be lying to you. You go, "Oh, no." So they get away with it because the expectation is they are where they were, that agrees with reality, that their actions agree with their actions taken to date. Were you at work today? Yes. Yes. When you say yes, but you weren't, is when you can get away with a lie. It requires the truth to exist first. Explained. Clearly. Fair play is value for value. Fair. What is fair? Concepts of fair and not fair. Concepts of fair and not fair. And the laying down of what is fair and what is not fair at this early age. Fair play is value for value. We're playing. We're sharing the value. It is fair. Unfair play. Unfair is when someone takes value. That is not fair in the game that we are playing. If we are playing Foursquare, if we are playing tennis, if we are playing basketball, if we are playing lacrosse, any game, anything, life. Unfair play is taking a value. You're playing tennis. There's lines. It's very clear, in and out. If someone lies when it's really out and they say, "No, that was in," or "it was in," and they lie and say, "That was out," they're lying for a value to get the point to win the game. And so fair play is that we agree to the rules. We agree to what the rules are. And it would be unfair to break them to gain a value, to lie about reality to gain a value. Values are produced, then graded for values. Values are produced. We, the creators, create value from nature. We take nature and we process it because we have these. And we process nature and from it create human nature, the human made, the people made, the technology, the artificial from the naturally given. We create it. And now we're starting to create intelligence, artificial intelligence as a result of it as we continue. It's all a creation by us, from us to this, right? The spoon at one time, and still is, not at one time, is a piece of technology, something that has been created. Spoons don't exist in nature. Nature has the raw materials for us to take, produce, to create, to further create. So values are produced and then traded for other values. The first values being food, food, and that we need food to live. The very first values produced are to sustain our lives, and they are nutritional. Our lives progress forward in a line of actions, practicing daily to achieve goals. Our lives progress forward in a line of actions, practicing daily to achieve goals. Practice daily. Progression towards a goal through progress of time. We are proud. We are proud when we use our brains to achieve our goals. I had a goal. I had a goal. I achieved that goal. And I am proud. We feel good. We feel good about the choices and have self esteem. We feel good about the choices we've made to achieve our goals and feel pride as the result and have esteem for ourselves. We love ourselves. We love ourselves. All our unique individual natures, traits, characteristics. There's no two people that are the same. And it's about theming ourselves. And it's very important. It is very important. And that is why ethics is such a fascinating topic, and why most people will enter philosophy. Most people will enter philosophy at ethics because they want to answer these questions on how to live. You want to know how to live. You want to know how to live. So you go looking for the answers and you start in ethics. How are you going to live? How are we going to live? How are we going to live? Physical force stops your mind from working. Do not force others first. Physical force stops the mind from working. How can you live when you can't act? How can you live in fear of your actions being met with physical violence against you? Do not force other people. This is the basis of rights, of all human rights, the right to live, the right to life, through liberty, and to the pursuit of happiness. These books begin to lay the foundations of your political philosophy, Book 4, which is now just recently available on Amazon. Book 4, Politics. Your ethics as it relates to the broader group. So your politics ends up being a result of your ethics, and here we're laying it down right here in Book 3. From 5 to 500 years old, based on 5,000 years of human thought, and I don't know how many billions of years of metaphysics. Physical force stops the mind from working. Do not force others first. Well, okay, what though? But what? What do I do? Brains are greater than force. We use our brains to protect our brains. Ideas. The distribution of ideas. Learning. Knowledge. Gaining access to understanding reality, to act, to achieve your values and goals, brains. But what? But what about the forcers? What about the forcers? When necessary, we use force to protect our bodies. The use of force to protect oneself and their right to life and liberty. This goes to John Locke. This goes to Aristotle. This goes to Frederick Bastiat. This goes to all of them, and sets up this philosophical foundation in ethics. Your premise established. And this right to your life and to be able to defend it. We experience pain as a measure of what's immediately bad to us. Pain. Ouch. 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 That hurt. You get stuck with something. Poked. Ouch. Okay. Your senses experiencing discomfort. No, ow. We experience pleasure as a measure of what's immediately good to us. That feels good. That feels good. Immediate. Ouch and ooh. That tastes good. That feels good. Sensory. Sensory input from reality. Deeper into philosophy. It begins to lay, this is laying foundations, and they're laid in metaphysics and epistemology, but in practical philosophy as sensory inputs from reality. Sensory data from reality is the basis of knowledge. Gaining information from reality, from our inputs on it. Ouch, that hurt. Yum, that tastes good. Measuring reality with these things that we were given. Now that's in epistemology. Now our minds are like our bodies. Our minds are part of our bodies. There's not a mind and body dichotomy. Again, we set up deeply through simple principles the broader foundations of all of philosophy. Mind and body dichotomy, that they're separate things. Our minds are like our bodies. Our minds are our bodies. They experience pleasure and pain. Our mind, it hurts our mind. It feels good to our mind. These are our feelings. These are our feelings. This book's going to tell me how to understand my own feelings. That's what this book for 5-year-olds is going to do. It's going to tell me, this book's going to tell me how to understand my own feelings more clearly. Really? Our minds are like our bodies. They experience pleasure and pain. These are our feelings. Here we go. Our feelings. Our feelings are the result of value judgments. Now, we've talked a lot about values, value judgments. This is good. I'm happy. This is good, and I'm happy. Good. What makes it good? You have a soccer game today, and you look outside and it's sunny, and you think to yourself, this is a good day because you have plans for that day. There's something that you value. You're going to be playing soccer outside, and it's a lovely day. And so that's good, and it makes you happy. You feel happy as a result of your evaluation of what happened in reality. This is bad, and I am not happy. This is bad. I am not happy. It's raining. I had plans today. I was going to enjoy the day at the water park with my friends. I was going to ride my motorcycle from 5 to 500 years old. I was going to ride my motorcycle. I was going to play golf today. I was going to do this, whatever. Can't do it now. It's bad. I'm not happy. My judgment of this is not good. I am not going to get what I wanted. I'm not going to achieve that which I value, and as a result of it, I am unhappy. As a result, as a result, what do we do? What do we do? We choose to pursue values and take action. The power of choice is yours. Power of choice is yours. The power of choice is ours. Choose what to take actions on and what to avoid, when it's acceptable to use force, protect our lives. The universe has no choice. It simply is. It exists. The universe simply is. It is not conspiring against you, other than in its just metaphysical nature that it's going to rain and you should seek shelter. Nature is benevolent in its gifts, and its gifts are, tornadoes and other things that will do destruction. But it's not conspiring against you. It just is. And that is metaphysics. Book 1 on metaphysics. It is what it is. The universe exists. The universe is neutral. It exists for us to pursue our life's goals. All the stuff that we've created as human beings were from the naturally given, to the people made. We are the creators of our reality from the metaphysically given one. It exists. How do you know? Now what? Book 3. Happiness is achieving our goals by learning and making good choices. Happiness, the feeling of happiness, the emotion, of happiness as the result of it's the feeling that you get when you've gotten what you wanted. You've achieved the outcome you've set out for yourself. You made the right choices and as a result received the right values. And you are happy. Ethics. Ethics is how to make choices. It's how to make choices. Now you know ethics. Now you know an ethics. You know this ethics. See what other people say throughout history, what their ethics are, and accept them or reject them. Integrate them or disintegrate them, but understand them and make the choice. It's all about choice. What did we think about? What did we think about in these videos? In this video? What did we think about in this book? What did we think about in book 3 on ethics? We thought about how do we make choices? We determine what's good for us. We determine what is good for us when making choices. Who benefits from our choices? We do. We benefit from the choices. We value ourselves. What happens after we choose? Our feelings are the result. After we choose, and the outcome is known, our feelings are the result of those choices. We are happy or we are sad. What about other people's choices? What about other people's choices? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, just when you thought you had it all figured out. What about other people and their choices? Politics. Politics. Politics is just an extension of your ethics to other people that you interact with. That is your ethics in the city, your ethics in the polis, in the city state, in the group, in the society, in the is your politics. So once you have your ethics, politics falls out as a result of it. And it really makes it even easier for you to understand when you integrate your knowledge into a practical system for living here on Earth. An extension of Aristotle, of Rand, of Locke, of Bacon, of Bastiat, of Newton, of Pythagoras, in some ways. Um, all of human thought and history coming together. Say here is a system that's integrated, that is foundational, that is something for you to say, differentiate or disintegrate. What do we do with other people? We respect their choice. Book 4, politics. We respect their choice. We have choice. Well, they have choice. Well, what happens when those choices conflict with one another? How do we settle that? How do we settle that dispute if it exists? What is the standard in which we settle them for politics? This book belongs to you. This book belongs to you. This book belongs to you. Encourage thinking. That's what these are about. These books are just about encouraging thinking, about trying to give your children and yourself simple explanation of everything. And when I say simple, I don't mean oversimplified. I don't mean that they're oversimplified and like, yeah, that's simple, but it's not how it works. No, this is how it works. Oversimplified means to leave out key details that are important to understand with which to move forward to complex explanations, to more complexity. So to oversimplify something is a lie. It's a faking of reality. You've said it's simple, but it's really not. And so you have lied by faking reality to gain a value. That's not what I am saying. What I'm saying is these are simple explanations of everything. Simple explanations. As in, the complexities come from simple things put together. Simple things put together result in complex things. Ideas, products, compounds, economies, political systems, uh, uh, conceptual chains. It's complexity. But that complexity can be, must be, and to be objectively true, reduces down to its more simple components, its more simple foundational truths that underlie it. And when we gain new knowledge about a thing, it doesn't, if it contradicts with our old knowledge, then that's where we need to study it and understand if our prior knowledge was incorrect. But our prior knowledge will not be incorrect if it is objectively formed to begin with. Learning something new means you expand what you know about it. You grow in your knowledge of it. It's not about learning something that will contradict it. It's about growing and expanding the ideas to fit in new context of reality from them. The ideas, the premises, the principles, the foundations, if they are correct, only grow in context. First principles for the first grades. Metaphysics, epistemology, ethics, politics, all now available on Amazon.com, with Aesthetics being the final book in the series, and is just beginning illustrated right now. 5-book series.